Let's start with the news. As we know, Spain is where teams introduce major new upgrades to their cars. Mercedes GP made a big splash by introducing a radical new design to the engine cover. The new design moved the airbox air inlets to the engine cover and leaving the roll bar protection as a standalone structure. This will give them increased performance from the rear wing because the new design will decrease disturbance of the airflow leading to the rear wing. Whether this design has any effects on their F duct remains to be seen. The effect of this change is expected to be small in comparison with other upgrades they are introducing to the car. Another change that Mercedes GP is making to the W01 is increasing the length of the wheelbase, which will serve to move the center of gravity forward in the car. This move is in response to the lack of front downforce the W01 is experiencing. Both Schumacher and Rosberg are experiencing understeer in the car, and this new design is thought to help remedy that problem by moving the center of gravity in the car forward. Autosport.com reported that Schumacher conducted a shakedown of the new updates at Rockingham Circuit during a filming day, which Mercedes is allowed to do under new photo rules. Mercedes was rumored to be looking to introduce a new front wing this weekend, but no sign of that yet. Staying with Mercedes GP, Schumacher told the media that he was very angry with himself because of the terrible Chinese Grand Prix performance. He said, "In China, my performance was not good. I was angry with myself. It sticks out there, whereas other races were on the right track. I'm optimistic that things will go in the right direction. I did not expect to come here and blast everyone away. It's a process, and the process is going good." Speaking to James Allen, he said that even though the car does not suit his driving style, Schumacher refused to blame the car for his trouble. Responding to Sir Jackie Stewart, who said that the current F1 driver crop is a lot better now than Schumacher's first career, Schumacher pointed out that he competed successfully against both Alonso and Mika Hakkinen. Moving on to Ferrari, they will be testing their own F-duct in practice in Spain after it was tested in straight-line aero test by Fisichella. They are introducing new aero designs on the car that they are hoping to bring them closer to Red Bull's performance. Massa again dismissed any rift between him and Alonso following Alonso overtaking Massa at the entrance to the pit lane in China 3 weeks ago. Massa is behaving very professionally by not airing his dirty laundry in public, and I fully expect that he will do his talking on the track. Moving on to the new teams, Lotus is introducing a raft of upgrades to their car that they are hoping to give them up to 2 seconds of pace per lap. The upgrades include, but are not limited to, new front wing, a new rear wing, a new floor, new suspensions, and a raft of mechanical upgrades. To see an interview James Allen did with Mike Gascoigne about the new upgrades, please see the link in the description below. Staying with the new teams, Hispania team hired experienced Formula 1 driver Christian Klein as a third and testing driver. He will be driving Karun Chandhok's car Friday in the first practice session. Bruno Senna, Hispania driver, is unhappy with the move because Senna believes that the primary drivers need all the mileage they can get in the car. Sarah Holt of the BBC reported today that Karun Chandhok fully expects to be replaced by Klein and is unhappy about it, as one could imagine. In more Hispania news, the team announced that they will scrub the design of this year's car, which was built by Dallara, and design and build their own car for next year. Also, they are not introducing any upgrades to their cars in Spain, in Barcelona.
It's time for the rant!
So, before I start with the rant, I just want to mention something about quali. If it's a dry race, qualification in Barcelona is very important because the majority of the time, and I'm not sure about the statistics, people who qualify at pole end up winning the race. Mark Webber in an earlier interview today reaffirmed that, saying that it is quote unquote bloody important qualification. Anyways, time to move on to the rant. The subject of the rant today is Micheal Schumacher, and he doesn't need me to defend him or anyone else. It's just that I am getting pissed off, and everyone and their mom going on and on about how Micheal Schumacher lost it, how he doesn't have it anymore, how I don't know, how he's an idiot, how any bloke off the street can drive better than him. One, shut up. Two, his record speaks for itself. There's no need for me to come to defend him or anyone else. He's clearly one of the most, I can't say most brilliant. He is one of the more brilliant drivers out there. He's one of the better ones, if not the best. His record will be untouched for generations, most likely. 7 world championships. Yes, the first 4 races haven't gone that well. I thought Bahrain was a pretty good race for him. Boring race, but pretty good race for him. He qualified. He raced. You know, there was nothing exciting in the race, so you couldn't tell much. Australia didn't go too well. It was better than Bahrain. His pace was closer to Rosberg. He wasn't comfortable with the car. Clearly, you could see that he wasn't really pushing himself. I mean, trying to pass Jaime Alguersuari, it didn't go so easy for him. Then we go to Malaysia. Malaysia started out pretty well for him. He was gonna be a pretty exciting race for him. Could have probably gone to the podium, but unfortunately he got a nudge wheel came off and he couldn't finish. Which leads us to China. China, he says it wasn't a good performance. Everyone says it wasn't a good performance, and it showed just how uncomfortable he is with the car. And you know, he had a bad race, but even in that race, I mean, with the duel between him and Hamilton, that was brilliant Schumacher driving. He was uncomfortable with the car, but he just showed that he could just bring it on and race. What happened in China, it seems like he's uncomfortable with the car and he just killed his tires too quickly. He burnt them off. He's not used to them. He needs to figure it out. So it brings us to where we're at now. Clearly, he needs to bring it. He needs to figure it out. But I have no doubt that he will figure it out. Even if he lost a little bit of an edge, it's still more than any other driver will ever dream of having. So, having said that, I'm not worried that Schumacher is, he's not going to be in the back with, I don't know, who's a bad driver? I don't want to pick on any particular driver, but, he's not going to be in the back of the pack. He's going to be up there in the top. He's no Tony Liuzzi, even though he's a pretty good driver, in my opinion. He will find it. It's going to take time. It's going to take the next few races. I don't think this race this weekend in Barcelona is going to make it or break it for him. Let's give him some time. Let's see how he does. And, let's chill. Let's relax. Let him find it out. If by the end of the season, by, 3/4 of the way in, Rosberg is still beating him, then we can, have this conversation again. But until then, everyone just shut up. The man knows more about Formula One than you could ever imagine. His talent is just absolutely amazing. And we gotta realize that Rosberg, the man we're comparing to him, is pretty good. Now, Rosberg may or may not be world championship materials, but he has it and he can bring it. So this is it for the rant. Please check out the show notes. If you like this, rate, subscribe, pass along to your friends. I will be back in a couple of days after the qualification in Barcelona to give a few minutes recap, and then after the race. Until then, I'll enjoy the weekend and hopefully we'll have good quality and then a good race.